Morning, Frank. Thanks. Squats and push-ups this morning, guys. Squats and push-ups. Morning, John. Friday night fishing. So far, so good. Hope you're having a good day also. Squats and push-ups this morning, guys. Good morning. Yeah, we're back at it, love. You know it. Push-ups and squats this morning. Break it up with the speed bag a little bit. Morning, Robert. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Salam to you, Raphael. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, way back in the day. I was a really, really big boxing fan. I live in New Jersey, and back in the '90s, so I'm going way back. But Atlantic City used to have a lot of fights down the convention center and the casinos. So I was down there pretty often. I was a really big boxer. Even growing up before that, back in the '70s, the heavyweights, Ali, Norton, Foreman, all those guys, Ernie Shavers. So, but yeah, I was always a big boxing fan from the time I was a kid. Aldo's here. Hey, guys, make sure you check out my friend Aldo, Crusades of Motivation. Check out his invention, the Cruise Up, if you're looking to up your game with your push-ups and muscle-ups, if you're into that. Check out his channel. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Check him out. Hardest working man in Nebraska. Yeah, everything's, Robert, everything's UFC now. UFC exploded, and to be honest with you, I'm not too much into UFC. I watch it occasionally, but, boxing just, it's really, with some of the judging and you watch some of these fights and they're so one-sided and they'll give it to the other guy and it's just like, I don't even know if it's like that. I don't think it is so much in the UFC, but boxing is just unbelievable with some of the decisions that you see and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say boxing over UFC for sure. I never really got into the UFC stuff. I'll watch it occasionally if it's like a big fight. But to me, nothing beats boxing, and I loved it back in the day. But lately, I'm not too much into it, to be honest with you. Sweet science, exactly. I mean, I always had respect for anybody. I don't care what sport it is, whether it's UFC or boxing, any combat sport where you get into a ring or the octagon, whatever you want to call it. But you're in there, and it's pretty much kill or be killed, or inflict as much punishment as you can or receive as much punishment as you're going to get. But I always had respect for anybody that had really the balls to get in and do that. It takes a lot of guts. And I don't care if you want to call a guy a tomato can or, he's not a skilled boxer, he's not. The fact that he'll get in there and do it, I mean, you got to give people credit for that. That takes a lot of guts to do that, And that's why, I get a kick out of, guys sitting on their couch. This guy sucks. This guy, he trained and he's in there doing it. And he's throwing his arms. At least he's trying. You know what I mean? So you got to give these guys credit. And the training part is really where all the work is. The preparation, like anything in life, And the better your preparation is, the better your training is, the better you're going to perform when it's crunch time. So. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I agree, man. Listen, I always said, like, a skilled boxer is, it was so, I was so in awe of some of these guys. And I had arguments with guys in work. Again, most of them out of shape, never worked out in their lives, and they're talking about this guy sucks, that guy sucks. But, I had a 200-pound guy telling me, I would let a lightweight hit me. You take the best lightweight boxer in the world, I'd let him hit me in the face. Really? You know what I mean? Like, he'd rearrange your face. I don't care if it's, you take a bantamweight, the lowest weight class, and you let them hit you in the, these guys are trained. I mean, they do it over and over, and it's a skill. It's a skill that they practice and practice. And for you to say, it just shows ignorance. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. If you're not somebody who's done any type of physical training, physical exercise, but when you get into that, something like boxing, and even these other combat sports, the MMA, I mean, it's so, you have to work on the skill, And for somebody to sit back and say, that's bullshit, I'd let that guy hit me. Really? I would love to have seen it, I would love to have seen it. No, it's not. I mean, I've done, years ago, I did a little bit of sparring. I was going to a boxing gym and did some light sparring. And it's certainly, it's not fun to get hit in the head. That thud is like, it rattles the brain a little bit. Thanks, love. I appreciate that. Back at ya. Thanks, Will. I appreciate the support, brother. I'm 61. Yeah, no, you were somebody though, brother. The fact that you got in there and did it, good on you. Yeah, trust me, they're very ignorant. And of course, it was a group discussion, so everybody else chimed in. Yeah, I'd let a lightweight hit me. Well, they can't hurt me. Bullshit. Bullshit. But again, it is ignorance. It's just ignorance. 42. Come on, Will. You're still a young kid, man. Good for you. You got a long way to go. Keep going. You still oh, good for you, man. Good. I appreciate you popping in, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, 61. I wish I was lying to you, man, but the clock spins. Yeah, my friend Frankie F16 is currently training in the Muay Thai. And I can attest to some of the stories I hear there. It's no joke. So again, you know, anybody that does that, and especially, you know, you're doing the training, but if you actually get in there and do it, you know, you step into a ring against somebody else, a lot of respect. That takes a lot of balls to do that. It really does. What's up, Rock? Good morning to you. Rock, you're saying there's no gyms in India? Well, you always have YouTube University, brother. You always have YouTube University. Where there's a will, there's a way. Just like weight training and other type of training. You don't need a gym. You can certainly do your own thing and find your own way. But YouTube is a great resource. All right, Will, brother, have a good day, man. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you popping in. Hopefully see you again. Have a good one, brother. Rocky. Good morning, David. Appreciate you popping in. Hardly Rocky, my friend, but we try. Actually, I told the story before. The Chuck Wepner, who the Rocky movie was, I guess, based on. We grew up in the same town, and I was somewhat friendly with him. We used to go to the same YMCA, and used to bump into him occasionally having coffee in town. Really, really nice guy. Very nice guy. Good morning, GP Training. Shout out to the Netherlands. How you doing, brother? Yeah, exactly. Right back at it. Everything old is new again. Here we are again. Yeah, mix it up with some Mike Tyson's. Change it up a little. And being somebody asked me about that kettlebell yesterday, I figured I'd throw the dumbbell onto the handle and do some squats with that today. So that's basically it. Just mixing it up with the bag a little bit, and some Mike Tyson's, and doing some squats with the kettlebell. Yeah, no, we did. Actually, last night I had a gym session and I did a bunch of pulls. So lately, what I've been doing is my pull work is basically has just been weighted pull-ups. And one day last week, I was doing the pull-ups, and it wasn't like a sudden thing, but I started to get like a dull ache in my arm. And anyway, fast forward, and it just, I don't know what I did. I must have pulled something somewhere, but I'm having a bit of an issue with this arm when I pull. But I was still able to get some, just adjusted my grip a little bit. So last night I did do some weighted, not what I normally do. I pared back on the weight, and then I did just a bunch of body weight pull-ups. And then I actually finished, I did 100 reps on the, I did an EMOM every minute on the lat pull down machine with a medium weight. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, I just want to, I don't know what this is all about. But I was telling a friend of mine, I've had this issue with my right arm for quite some time. When I go to do dips, normally, I don't know if it's a tendon, something's popping out of place and I have to kind of push it back in. So occasionally I have these issues with my right arm when I push, and now I'm having an issue with the left arm. So I'm all messed up. I have to pick and choose my battles. But I'm kind of going against what I tell everybody, when you have an injury. But it's not debilitating. It's not where I can't do anything. I can still use my arm. But it's just when I pull a certain way, I get some kind of pain in here. But it'll work its way out, no big deal. But yeah, we definitely did our pulls last night, but not what we've been doing. Not to the degree that I've been doing it lately, but definitely got some work in last night. Yeah, I definitely have been doing some stretching for it. Definitely with the wrist work that I do. Um, and then I've been hitting it with the band, just moving it around and see where I kind of feel it. But I'm definitely trying to keep it loose and keep it moving so it doesn't tighten up. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's not to the point where I can't do anything. Actually, last night with the proper grip, I wasn't feeling it with the body weight pull-ups. It was a little more challenging with the weighted pull-ups, but like I said, I pared back on the weight, and I didn't do that many weighted reps. So I'll keep an eye on it and definitely keep moving it and stretching it and see what happens. Good morning, Mirko. How you doing, brother? I appreciate that. Yeah, actually, I haven't done, you know what? Actually, this morning before I came on, I was just trying some different grips with the dumbbells, and I'm having an issue doing curls. But I did do, the other day, I just grabbed a light, easy curl bar, and I think that little turn in my hand doing it this way, it definitely did help. But to do a hammer curl, I tried it this morning, and that's where I get a lot of pressure in that area. So I'm definitely gonna, it's funny you mention that because I actually was gonna toy around with the easy curl bar. I have one over here, but I think that I'm gonna have to go that way. Years ago, I injured my arm. Actually, it was my right elbow. And this lingered literally for a year or two. And I had such a hard time. I could not do a straight bar curl for literally like a year and a half. But it was funny because when I switched to that easy curl bar, just that little twist of the wrist, the twist of the forearm, whatever happened, it took the pressure off that, and I was able to curl. So for the year and a half, I concentrated on the easy curl bar. No big deal. We have to be able to adjust, right? Sometimes we got to zig instead of zag. All right, okay, I'll look into that, Mirko. I definitely will. Yeah, we'll see. It's just like one of these nagging things, like I said. But me being me, I have a hard time not doing anything. So I try and push it a little bit. But I'll do what it takes to at least be able to do something. Good morning to Gusto Game Bros. Guys, make sure you go subscribe to my friend Gusto over on the Game Bros channel. And check out every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, here in New York on the East Coast, the Get Fit Talk Shit podcast. Iberia, good morning to you. Drum roll, I'm not quite sure what that is. I can hit it. I don't know if I'm doing a drum roll, but doing well, Mirko. Always much better when you pop in, brother. Guys, make sure you check out Service Calisthenics, my friend Mirko over in Germany. Shout out to the Deutschland. Bodybuilding, not per se. I've never had any aspirations to be a bodybuilder, in that regard. I've just, worked out, lifted weights, now doing calisthenics. I just do what I do, but I don't have any specific, I never did. Even when I was younger, I wasn't into this whole, bodybuilding thing, no. Yeah, it's you got, what do you have, the tennis and then the golfers. I think one's inside, one's outside, right? I think maybe the tennis is out in this area, and then golfer's elbow is here. But yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of not much you can do for it other than heal, let it heal up, do some stretching, just keep the blood flowing in it, and definitely try not to overdo it. It's more of an annoyance, to be honest with you. But like I said, I wouldn't be me if I didn't wake up every day and something didn't hurt somewhere. You know what I mean? There's always going to be some issue. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know, brother. That's very interesting. My daughter has a friend who's a physical therapist right now, and uh, that's a great field to get into. Knowing the anatomy and knowing how to, fix things like that. I do have a sleeve, Gus. I have an elbow sleeve, but I got to be honest with you. I when I put that on, I have to rip it off in a matter of 15 minutes. It's I don't know if it's like a mental thing, but it just feels like I don't know. It's very uncomfortable on my arm after a while, and I don't know that it really helps that much, to be honest with you. I've used it actually. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I have the issue with this arm, and I've tried it, but those compression sleeves, I've never found to be that much of a help. But it is what it is. We'll just, like I said, it wouldn't be me if I didn't wake up every day and something didn't ache, or Yeah, well, yeah. Dealing with people is tough. Dealing with, Goose, my daughter went to school and she became a licensed audiologist, and she worked for a couple of years and found out she hated it, and that was part of it. That was part of it, dealing with the people, uh, and she changed careers. So all that schooling, she went through the school to be an audiologist, like just like in your case, you went through all that schooling, and then you realize, this really isn't for me. So, but it is what it is. You live and learn. The other thing too is you stay there, and what, you're miserable for the rest of your life. So, I hope you made the right. This sounds like you did. But dealing with the public, in any capacity, on a day-to-day basis, that takes a different type of temperament, because people, it you're all over the place. You'll be talking to one guy and you say, "Wow, it's the friendliest guy in the world," and then the next person will come in and you want to choke him. You know what I mean? So there's like a dichotomy there. It's like, and you're going back and forth. But yeah, it'll definitely drive you nuts. And again, we always talk about, our health. Mental health is part of it, right? So you can't go through life just being stuck somewhere that you don't want to be. That's not good. Yeah, that's exactly it, Gus. Like when I have it on, I'll put it on, and for the first few minutes, and I'll be like, okay, that feels all right, and then after a while, it's just it really starts getting to me, and I just feel like I have to pull it off. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, Goose. I always said that, dealing with people, and in my career, a lot of times you're dealing with people under the worst circumstances, because normally you don't call the police unless there's something going on. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like you're just bumping into somebody on a street corner, and saying hi to them, and having a conversation, or selling them a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Usually when you have an encounter with somebody in law enforcement, it's not in a good situation a lot of the times. But the thing is, to some degree, you have, my thing was, I always wanted to, when I encountered somebody, I would say, how would I want to be treated in this situation? So I tried to do that with people. But they test you. You know what I mean? They test you. And in my situation, I was able to give back a little bit. But say like in your career, or I mentioned my daughter, or anybody that deals with the public, say in retail sales or something. Somebody comes in and aggravates you, it's not going to be like, listen, shut up, I don't want to listen to your bullshit, take a walk. You know what I mean? Where there were a lot of instances in my career where I was able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Well, you know, in my department, when I retired, we just started. I never had to wear a body cam in my career. And when I retired, I was a supervisor at the time. I retired as a captain. So I wasn't, we just started to roll out the body cams, the body cameras. So I wasn't required to wear one you know, in my position, but the cops were. And I always said, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, because when you deal with somebody, you know, there were a lot of times where people would come in and make citizens complaints, and it was total bullshit. They would just, I had people do it to me. He said this, and I'm like, I never said that. You know what I mean? I never did that. I never said that. So they'll lie. So in that instance, with the body cam, it could be a blessing because it could save your ass. But on the flip side, you're still human. And if somebody pushes your buttons, and it's happened, it happens every day, camera or no camera, if somebody pushes your buttons to a certain degree, something's going to happen. And you're going to forget the camera, or you're going to be human. You know what I mean? So in that case, you're not going to be able to bullshit your way out of a situation if you do something that you shouldn't have done, you know, because the camera's not going to lie. So I feel kind of lucky that I got out, that I didn't have to walk around with a camera strapped to my chest. But it's pretty much the norm today. And, you know, in hindsight, I really don't have an issue with it. You know what I mean? It's anything. It's change. It's the way of the world. But with most things in life, it's a blessing and a curse, depending on how you look at it and depending on your situation. So, all right, guys. I think I overstayed my welcome this morning. Went a little over an hour. Some Mike Tyson push-ups, some squats with the kettlebell. Hit the bag a little bit. I'm going to get on my way. Hit that link tree, you guys, at everything Old Dog related. We got some nice merch. Channel memberships up and running. One-on-one coaching if anybody's interested. Weight loss. Things like that, health and fitness general. Other than that, everybody go have a good day. Make sure you get some reps in. Keep yourself healthy, keep your family healthy, stay safe. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.